set name or variable name.
Variable.
come on.
Again, on my desktop, I have SAS folder again. In that, we have SAS data folder. In that, we have a file called demo1. It is a text file.
Sir, screen not visible, sir.
Guys, can you see my screen?
It's visible, sir.
No, it's not visible. Open from the browser.
Visible, sir.
So I want to create a dataset from this text file. Shift right click. Copy as path. Data. Space dataset name. I want to have a dataset name EMP. Semicolon. In file, the path of the text file. Semicolon. Then input. I should give the variable names in the input statement. I want to have variable names as EMPID, name, character data, $symbol, age, sex character data, $symbol, then salary, location character data, $symbol, semicolon, run, semicolon. Now if I select the program, execute the program. Now what we are going to have in the libraries, in the work library, we will have EMP dataset. This is the EMP dataset which contains 6 variables and 23 observations. Okay. So this is what we have seen in the previous classes. Now, in today's class, what I'm going to do, I will explain one thing. First of all, I'm closing my SAS session. Now, I'm reopening my SAS session again. Can you see? Here I have a taskbar. On the taskbar, I have a SAS icon here. Know that how to write a small program. Now I want to tell you a little bit history of SAS.
Sir, we are
What is
unable
that?
to see your screen, sir.
Visible. It's visible, sir.
No, sir, it's not visible to me.
అయిపోతుంది.
Guys, hi guys. Guys, whom they are not visible, you can just please log in through browser only.
Visible, sir.
Yes.
Now, what I want to do, since we could able to write a small piece of code now, in today's class, I'll start about the history of the SAS. You know, who discovered SAS first time? And for what purpose they have done this one? And by the way, anybody knows what the full form of SAS?
Statistical
Analysis?
Our system.
It was
Or you
software.
can also
Now
write
it
as
was
a,
system.
you can call it as a statistical analysis software or statistical analysis system. You know why we call it as a system? SAS is not in a one tool. It is a group of multiple tools. It has got so many tools in it. That's why we call SAS as a statistical analysis system or software also. Now, how to pronounce SAS? We have to pronounce SAS as SAS. This is how we should. You should not say yes, yes. or something like that. You should call it as a SAS. Now, who discovered SAS? When they discovered the SAS? Before 1968, there was no SAS at all. There was no SAS. In 1968, there was an organization called United States of Department of Agriculture. This United States of Department of Agriculture used to get so much of data from the farmers. What type of they used to get? What is the crop they planted, and how much of yield they got, and how much of fertilizers they use. How many hectares they have been planted this crop, how many pesticides they use, how much yielding they got, what the profit they got. They used to get so much of data from the farmers. Now, what this United States of Department of Agriculture are thinking, they want to analyze this data. Based on that analysis, they want to generate a report. Now, by taking that report, they want to help their farmers to give some ideas, some suggestions. To analyze such a huge data, by the time, there was no analysis tool available. In 1968, there was no any tool who can do the data analysis. Then this United States of Department of Agriculture, now they approached North Carolina State University. There's a state called North Carolina. In that we have there is a university. Now they approached this North Carolina State University. In North Carolina State University, there is a department called Department of Statistics. The Department of Statistics, there are two professors. Jim Barr and Jim Goodnight. Okay, these two are professors at what you call the North Carolina State University in the Department of Statistics. Now they started developing analysis tool to analyze the data. At the same time, there was another institute called National Institute of Health Management. Even they also required a tool to analyze healthcare data. They used to get healthcare data from different hospitals, different organizations. So they want to analyze this healthcare data so that they can take some decision. Even they want to have analysis tool. Even this National Institute of Health Management also approached this Jim Barr and Jim Goodnight of North Carolina State University. At the same time, 8 other universities also teamed up with this organization, and everybody together, they created a consortium. What do you mean by consortium? A consortium is an organization, a group, where we do research. So now they started developing a tool. But, by 1972, by 1972, this National Institute of Health Management was not so happy with the development, because the National Institute of Health Management thought, anyway, these guys were developing a tool. This tool is going to help only to analyze the agricultural data. So what they did, they stopped giving the fundings for that research. And eventually, even USDA is also left from that organization because they were also not happy. So they left that organization. Because of all these developments, this Jim Barr and Jim Goodnight, they were not happy with the university. What they did, they resigned to the university and they started their own research. They started their own research. They took just a building just besides that North Carolina State University main campus, and they started their own research. Initially, there was only 2 professors. Later, they hired 2 more PhD students of their own from the university. Now, all the 4 members, they started developing the tool. So initially, they used to get a small data, from the local pharma companies and from the local, small banking companies. They used to get small amount of data. By using this data, they developed the tool, and by 1976, they completely developed the tool and they named it as a statistical analysis software. That is how in 1976, they discovered this technology. They invented this technology in 1976. As I said, initially there was only 4 employees in this organization. And later, everybody knows, in 2000, everybody thought all this programming language will not work because in 2000, we are going to have all zeros. So all these programming languages are going to get stopped to work. That was everybody called as a Y2K problem, remember? I think you guys are little kids, so you may not know about this one. And then later, even SAS also eventually crossed that phobia, Y2K problem. And in 2010, SAS has become one of the top 5 companies in the world. There is a magazine called Fortune. Every year, this Fortune magazine gives the top 200 companies in the world. In that way, in 2010, SAS has become one of the top 5 companies in the world. This Fortune magazine, they give the ranking on based on many aspects, like work environment, employee salaries, work ethics, work-life balance, and they do so many, gradings based on that. In 2010, they had given one of the top, SAS has become one of the top 5 companies in the world. And 2014, up to 2010, 2014, SAS was just a statistical analysis system or a software. But in 2014, SAS has become a company itself. And the name of the company is SAS. Now, if somebody asked you, is it a SAS is a software programming language or a company? Both. It was a technology. Now it is a technology and a company also. Understand this one? And in 2014, since SAS has become company, later they had given a tagline for the SAS. The tagline for the SAS company is the power to know. The power to know. This is the tagline. Nowadays, all these companies and movies are also going to have some taglines, right? In the same way, in 2014, Anusha, Vadlamudi Anusha, keep your mic on mute, please. So in 2014, now the SAS has got a tagline, which is the power to know. Now, in 2014, now the company has become an employee in a company of 2,000 employees. And by 2020, SAS has become a company of 30,000 employees. But by using SAS throughout the world, lakhs of employees are working. Okay, in India, we have SAS company, SAS office in Pune. We call it as a SAS Pune. By 2023, SAS is planning to establish a company, an office in Hyderabad. This is how SAS has been evolved as a company. Now, though SAS has been discovered in 1976, that means almost 50 years. But still, SAS is number 1 in data analysis, data analytics. So it is a pretty old, but still SAS is number 1. 75% of the data analysis market belongs to SAS. The remaining 25% shared by the other programming analysis tools like R, 15%, Tableau, and Hive, Apache, Pig, Spark, all these remaining tools will share remaining 10% share. Why still SAS is so important? Why SAS is number 1 in the data analytics? Because one of the major advantages with SAS is, SAS can predict future with very accurately. It can predict the future very accurately. So that means with the current data that is available, by taking the data, it can predict the future. It can, by analyzing that current data, it can predict the future. It can forecast what is going to happen in the next 6 months or next 1 year. It can predict very accurately. No other tool can do that much accurately. That is one of the major strengths for SAS. Understand this one. And not only that one, still SAS is number one, even though it is a 50 years, because SAS is competing with other tools. SAS is evolving. SAS is having new tools every day, every year. It is updating. That's why it is now still withstanding, and it is still number one in the data analytics. Not only future predictions, the ease of use and the ease of learning. Because of all these things, still SAS is number one. And when it comes with the clinical domain, FDA and SAS are associating with each other. At least for next 20 years, SAS is endorsing, FDA is endorsing SAS. So in clinical research, SAS is mandatory. Clear, everybody? Now, what is the main purpose of SAS? Why we should use SAS? As I said, we use SAS for data analysis. Okay? In which fields, which domains we use SAS? There are 21 different domains where we use SAS. Everybody knows that, in the clinical domain, if you want to get any drug into the market, you should get the FDA approval. If you want to get the FDA approval, you have to conduct the clinical trials, and we need to analyze the clinical trial data, and we have to submit that analysis reports to FDA. So that means in clinical research, we use SAS. Not only that one, in healthcare, okay, in the healthcare industry, we use SAS. In Western countries like USA, and even in Arabian countries like Dubai, each and every hospital is going to have an analysis team. There we are going to have a SAS programmer. They're going to analyze the patient data, and they will generate the reports. Based on that, they will take the decisions. Nowadays, health insurance has become very important part of everybody's life. In the healthcare, health insurance data analysis, we use SAS a lot. Not only health insurance, in normal insurance also, we use SAS. Say, for example, in Hyderabad, there is a company called UHG. It has become Optum, United Health Group. They use SAS for insurance data analysis, particularly health insurance data analysis. Sorry. Understand this one? Not only in health insurance and normal insurance, we use SAS very frequently in the banking domain. Say, for example, you apply for a bank loan, you apply for a home loan, and you applied 50 lakhs home loan. Say, for example, now I applied for a home loan for 50 lakhs. You are a bank manager. Are you going to give me the 50 lakhs loan to me? Are you going to give me the 50 lakhs?
No.
Why? You know me, right? You can give it to me, right?
There is no guarantee.
There's no guarantee.
Without background check, we cannot be.
As a,
Without any
as a
purpose, we
bank
cannot give
manager,
that.
as a bank manager, how we are going to take a decision? What decision that you are going to take?
Assurance, sir.
Unfortunately,
First of all, we check background, sir.
Vandana, I do not have any properties. I don't have any assets.
The salary we get.
Based on the income resource.
Based on the income, I have per month I'm getting 50,000.
Credit scores.
What do you mean by credit score?
Financial status.
What is it? Now, whenever you apply the bank loan, okay, say for example, 50 lakhs bank loan, what the bank manager is going to do, bank manager is going to, call the zonal office, the head office. The head office is going to have a data analysis team. Now we'll put a request. So and so account holder is asking for 50 lakhs loan. Can I give the 50 lakhs loan or not? Now that analysis team is going to look into your history. That means, how long, if you have an account, how long you are having that account, what type of account it is. If it is a salary account, how much salary you are getting. Okay, if you are getting a salary, say for example, 75,000 per month or something, do you have any other loans? If you have any other loans, how you are paying EMIs? Are you paying EMIs on time? Do you have any overdues? And do you have any other assets? Do you have any other income? If it is so, what income that you are getting? How regularly? How much that you are getting that income? In the past, how you paid every EMIs? Say for example, you are getting 75, thousands per month salary. Okay. Now, if you have already a personal loan of 20 lakhs and you're already paying, 30,000 per month as an EMI. So if you're paying 25, already, you have a 20 lakhs loan and you're already paying 30,000 as an EMI. So you are left with only 45,000. You need to lead your life. That if I give again 50 lakhs loan, how much of EMI you are going to pay me? It is not possible. So they are going to analyze all the past data, and based on that, nowadays we developed a CIBIL score, isn't it? Or we also call it as a credit score. And we calculate the CIBIL score for 900. How much that you have for this 900? If you have above 800, yes, you have a very good CIBIL score. Then they will give the loan, how much amount that you have asked. And if it's greater than 750 but less than 800, they'll think about it. And maybe if you ask for 50, they may give only 40. If a CIBIL score is less than 700, they may give only 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs. So how we are going to get this CIBIL score? Again, they are going to analyze all our history. If your history is good, you are doing everything on time. If it is perfect, and then your discipline, then your CIBIL score is going to be better. Then we are going to get the loan. And nowadays, based on the CIBIL score only, they are giving the interest. They're bettering that interest. So that means here also in the banking domain, there is going to be lot of data analysis. Nowadays, each and every corporate bank is having SAS team in the analysis. You take any corporate bank, ICICI, Axis, Kotak Mahindra, HDFC, HSBC, and even national banks like SBI. All these banks are having a SAS. They are using SAS to analyze the data. Not only in the banking domain, we use SAS in the marketing field. Say, for example, Reliance use SAS, and we use SAS in e-commerce. Jio use SAS, Amazon use SAS, Flipkart use SAS. Not only that one, all the finance companies, financial systems, IBM use, JP Morgan, PricewaterhouseCoopers. All these companies use for to analyze the financial data. And not only that one, we use SAS in government sector, we use SAS in education sector, we use SAS in manufacturing, and we use SAS in automotive engineering. There are 25 different types of domains where we use SAS. And I can say wherever we have the data, there we can use SAS. And in the education, in the hospitality, in telecommunications, Jio use SAS, Airtel use SAS. We use a lot in telecommunications. We use in tourism, hospitality industry. Everywhere we use SAS. And the future belongs to data analysis. If you ask me, I want to become an IT professional for the future, what is the step I should take? Which domain I need to choose? There is a .NET, there is a testing, there is a Java or C, C++. And I would say you should go with the data analysis. In the data analysis, which tool I should choose? There are n number of tools are there in the data analysis. SAS is one among them. We have Power BI, somehow we have an SAP, we have an R, Python, so many tools. As I said, SAS is number one because of the ease of use, ease of learning, and so flexible, and it can predict the future very accurately. So because of so many reasons, SAS is number one. So confidently you can select the SAS and you can use it. As I said, if you're coming to the clinical domain, according to FDA guidelines, SAS is mandatory. So you will not have any competition from any other tool. So if you learn properly, if you do some hard work, so definitely you will get a chance to work. But when it comes with the banking, finance, healthcare, health insurance, marketing, telecommunications, there also everybody, as I said, every corporate bank, every nationalized bank, every financial firm use SAS. But the major drawback with the SAS is highly expensive. Because I need to tell all the things. Expensive tool. Since SAS is so expensive, since we do not have a supervisor like FDA, why should I use SAS in the banking? That's why we have an alternative for SAS in the banking, finance, in other tools, other domains. Because SAS is not mandatory there. Sorry. When SAS is not mandatory, why should I use it? Because it's so expensive. That's why banking companies and finance companies, they look for other alternatives. But remember in the starting, I told you, no other tool can do all the 4 functions at one place. I told you, only SAS can do data access. It can do data management. It can do data analysis, and it can do data reporting. No other tool can do everything at one place. But they cannot afford such expensive tool. That's why what they will do, they will go with other alternatives. Say, for example, for data access and data management, they may choose a tool called, say, for example, Informatica. Informatica is freely available, outsourced. Anybody can download it, anybody can install it, can use it. But Informatica is good with access and management and very, very bad with analysis and reporting. And since Informatica is an open source, there will be no security for data, no safety and no security for data. Since Informatica can do only access and management, then what they will do, whenever they want to have analysis and reporting, no, they choose some other tool. Say, for example, R. R is a free tool, open source. Anybody can download from the internet, can use it. So R is good at analysis and reporting and very, very bad at access and management. Since it's open source, there will be no data safety and security. But most of the companies believe data safety is highest priority. Because if your data is not safe, okay, if your data is not secure, people like me can see your data. If I see your data, I will come to know about your business secrets, isn't it? If I come to know about your business secret, I will come to know about your business. So, no, I can take steps like, to compete with you, to overcome you. So in the real time, data safety is so important. That's why even though it is expensive, most of the MNC companies in the banking, finance, and the marketing sector, even though it is expensive, they use SAS. But small companies which cannot afford SAS, they use other alternatives. Understand this one? So that's why if you, in future, if you want to move into the banking and finance, and you can absolutely can move, but you should understand one thing, there is going to be competition for SAS. Because in the banking and finance, since the SAS is not mandatory, by the time whatever the tool he feels is flexible, he will use that tool. So if you want to go into the banking and finance domain, you should have a multiple skills. That means along with the SAS, you should have other skills also, like SQL, maybe R, maybe Tableau, or some other Power BI, or something like that one. Because ఆ టైంకి వాళ్ళకి ఏ టూల్ అవసరం అనుకుంటే ఆ టూల్ యూజ్ చేసేస్తారు. Whichever tool they feel comfortable, easy for that purpose, they will use that one. So they look for which whoever got a multiple skill set. So if you want to move into the banking or finance, plan in such a way that along with the SaaS, right, learn one or two other tools. But if you want to come into the clinical domain, you no need to worry about that one because according to FDA guidelines, SaaS is mandatory. All you need to have SaaS. Understand this one? Clear, everybody? Now,
Yes.
in this domain, yes, the major important reason for usage of the SaaS is the data analysis. Okay, when you do the data analysis, what will happen? You will get an analysis report. That is fine. If you get the report, what will happen now? What you will do with this report? We have so many applications. We are going to do so many things with this report. As I said, if you want to predict the future, so for future predictions, we are going to use only SaaS. You know, when I'm giving a loan as an individual person loan, or if I want to give a loan to some company, some office, before giving the loan, I need to understand what are the risks and benefits I'm going to have. So I need to understand, I need to do the risk management. So if I give a loan 50%, 50 lakhs or 1 lakh, 1 crore, are you going to pay amount? So I need to do the risk management. If you want to do risk management, yes, we use SaaS. By using analysis reports, we can do the risk management. Not only that one, we can also do fraud management. Who is that? Who are the fraudulents? Like, who are doing the frauds? We are cheating, and we can understand everything. Everybody nowadays are talking about money laundering. Do you know about the money laundering? There are like huge scams. People have done like in the last couple of years, last 10 years. There was like, so many people have done, politicians, business people have done money laundering scams. SaaS is the only tool it can detect and identify the money laundering things. They are going to have so much of black money in India. Sorry, they will create a suitcase company in India, and they'll create a suitcase company abroad. They will send the money from India to abroad. Again, they will get the money from abroad to Indian company, and they'll make it a white. How the money is flowing from where to where it is flowing. If you want to know that one, okay, SaaS is a very important tool for like fraud management, and not only that one, customer intelligence. Customer intelligence, say for example, or financial intelligence. Whenever you go to a bank, there's going to be a PRO or like a manager. He will tell you so many things. Deposit your money into this account or invest your money into this company so that you are going to get so much of profits. You are going to get 2 rupees interest or 3 rupees. How they are going to explain that one? How they could able to explain all those things? Again, by analyzing the data, you can acquire so much of knowledge. With that knowledge, you are going to help me to understand. So that case of customer intelligence, financial intelligence, and all this information based on that intelligence, that knowledge, you can take a proper decision. You can do proper management. Understand this one? And all these things is possible only by doing the data analysis. That is even more better possible only by using SaaS tool. And not on that one, if you are interested in cricket or in any sports, each sport is going to have a website. Say for example, take a cricket. There is a Cricinfo, Crickbuzz, and so many websites. If you go to the website, you can see so much of analysis reports, so much of statistical analysis. What is that like a strike rate of the batsman? What is the economy? What is the average of the batsman? And you can understand what are the weaknesses, what are the strengths of a bowler or a batsman. How we can understand the weakness of a batsman? Again, by analyzing the previous historical data of that batsman. What are the vulnerable areas of that batsman? What are the strengths? Which shot he can play, very authoritatively? What are his weaknesses? What are the, winning percentage? Predictable. How we can predict? And Everything is possible because of data analysis. Nowadays, not only cricket, in any sport, each sporting team is going to have sports analyst. A sports analyst, nothing but it's sports data analyst. All the time is going to, whenever they're going to have a match against an opposite team. The work of the sports analyst, is going to get the data of that an opposite team, is going to analyze, is going to give the lot of inputs. So if you do in this way, that batsman is going to get out. This ball is going to bowl in this way. You can hit the shot into this way or that way. They will tell lot of inputs. How they could able to do that one again? By doing the lot of data analysis. Understand this one? So data analysis is so powerful in the real time. And in app development, there are going to be certain apps. To develop those apps, they use SAS. So future predictions, risk management, fraud management, customer intelligence, financial intelligence, app development, high performance computing, all this possible because of the data analysis, and we can do the data analysis by using SAS. So these are some of the important applications of SAS in the real world. Clear, everybody? Now, the next important thing is SAS is called as multi-vendor architecture. What by multi-vendor architecture? Just imagine, I will give a simple example. I'm using a old laptop. Okay. I'm using my laptop, I'm using Windows operating system. I'm using Windows 7 operating system, very old one. After 7, we had an 8, 10. Now we are having 11, the current version. But I'm using Windows 7. In the Windows 7 laptop, I installed SAS software. In the SAS software, I have written a program. Now, whatever the program that I developed, in Windows 10 operating system, now I copied the program. I had given that program to you.
Earphones.
Okay. And recently, you purchased a very advanced, latest laptop, and you are using, Windows. You are using Windows 11 software operating system. Now, in your Windows 11 operating system OS, you also have a SAS. Now, whatever the program that I have given to you, you can copy the program, you can paste the program in our SAS software, in our laptop, you can execute the same program. So that means what you can understand now, you can develop a SAS program in a older version of an OS, you can execute the same program on advanced version or latest version of the same operating system. Understand this one? Now, in the same way, I'm using Windows operating system in my laptop. It may be a 7 or 8 or a 10 or 11. In the Windows operating system, I install SAS software. In the SAS software, I have written a SAS program. I have given the same program to you. And you are using Linux operating system. In real time, few companies use Linux operating system. Generally, who uses Windows and who uses Linux? Generally, Windows is very flexible, easy to use, easy to learn. So most of our personal purpose, even most of the office companies also use Windows. But Windows is having less security. If you want to have more and more security, generally people will go with Linux or Unix operating system. Linux or Unix are more and more secure, but it is not so flexible. So in our company, you are using Linux operating system, but I'm using Windows operating system. So whatever the program that I developed in Windows operating system, now we can copy the same program in Linux operating system of a SAS. Now we can also execute the same program there. Without any problem, the same program will get executed. That's why we can say SAS has got cross-platform portability. We can develop the program on one operating system. You can use the same program on different operating system. You can develop the program on one version of the operating system. You can use the same program on a different version. So because of this, whoever wants to use SAS, they will have some kind of freedom. Whatever the operating system they want to, they can use. Whatever the version they want to, they can use. So there will be no restrictions. So there's going to have a free hand. They're going to have some flexibility. Now, whatever the ways they want to, they can choose. So since there is so much of flexibility, the vendor is going to like to use SAS because there are no restrictions at all. In the same way, I'm using very old laptop. Mine is, for example, 512 GB hard disk. I'm using Windows, i3 processor, and I'm using only 4 GB RAM. Very old laptop. So here also we can install SAS. Here you can also write the program. So that whoever wants to use the SAS, they need to buy high-end configuration. There's no such restriction. So the vendor is going to have some kind of flexibility, so that whatever that laptop system he wants, he can use. This is one of the reasons why SAS is so popular. That's why SAS is called multi-vendor architecture. And the next one is called SAS is called multi-database architecture. It is a multi-database architecture. Yes. What is that?
Just scroll the screen up, sir.
I didn't get you. Who is that? Okay. The next one is a multi-database architecture. What do you mean by multi-database architecture? I told you in the real time where we can find the data. I told you we have already seen, we can see the data, we can have a data in a text file. And we can also have a data in Excel sheets. And I told you we can also have the data in CSV files. And sometimes we can also have the data in MS Access files. Apart from that, I told you in the real time, most of the companies will take some kind of database, some commercially available database. So that means in the real time, data can be present in a database. So each and every company will take some kind of database. There are around 20 to 25 different commercially available databases. Say, for example, most popular ones are Oracle, and maybe DB2, maybe Teradata. Okay, so there is a database called Sybase. In the clinical domain, we use a database called Rave, and we also use clinical Oracle. And we use eClinical Suite. There are so many databases. Each and every company, based on their commercialities, based on their requirement, each company will choose some kind of database. So that means the data can be present anywhere, in any database. What we need to do, we have to get this data into SAS. We have to get the data into SAS. Sometimes, once you've done the analysis, we have to submit that analysis. We need to put the data again into the database. So that means we should get the data into SAS, and again, we should put back the data again back into database. SAS is so flexible. You name any database that is available right now. It can easily connect to the database, and it will get the data. No restrictions, no compatibility issues. But there are going to be certain other tools. Those tools are going to have restrictions saying that if you have a data only in the database, I can get the data. But SAS is not like that one. You name any data source, SAS can easily connect to the data source, can get the data. That's why SAS is called as a multi-database architecture. Understand this one? Everybody clear so far?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Okay. Yes.
On the average, how much banking sector they pay for fresher?
It depends on the company. Is it in a startup company or like an MNC company? But nowadays they are giving very a good space case. Few of our students, recently, you're asking about the banking, right? Banking,
Yeah.
you're going to get anything above 5 lakhs
For fresher.
for a fresher.
Okay.
If it is a startup company or Indian organization, if it is not an MNC, you may get 4.5, not less than that.
Okay.
But most of the companies are giving 6 plus.
And clinical, sir?
Clinical, again, if it is an MNC, recently in August month, like, few of 6 or 7 members of our Francis Institute, they got class Eli Lilly, and as a fresher, sir, and they got 8.15. But most of the companies are going to pay around, if it is an Accenture, it is going to pay 5.8 to 6. It's company to company, but the minimum it is going to be not less than 6. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Now, in SAS, 2 types of data. Do you know how many types of data, what are the 2 types of data that we have?
Character data, numerical
The
data.
data and numerical data. And we also have 2 types of variables, character variables, and numerical variables.
Numerical.
Remember, if it's a character variable, in a character variable, if you have a missing value, that missing value will be represented by blank space. Okay? If you have a missing value in a character variable, how it will be get represented? With a blank space. If it is a numerical variable, okay, if you have a missing value, how that will be represented? That will be represented by period symbol. And we call it as people call it as a dot, but you should call it as a period symbol. Clear, everybody? So if you have missing value in a character variable, that is represented by blank space. And if you have missing value in a numerical variable, which is being represented by period symbol or dot symbol. And I already told you, a table is called as a data set. Okay. A column is called as a variable. A row is called as an observation. And I told you this is called SAS table.
Repeat, please.
A table is called as a data set. A column is called as a variable. A row or a record is called as an observation. And I told you this is called SAS terminology. Clear, everybody? Now,
Yes, sir.
since we know that history of SAS in today's class, in tomorrow's class, what I'm going to do? I will explain what are the windows that we have in SAS. Okay? What are the windows that we have in SAS? And what are uses of those windows. Okay? And what is this? This is called as a toolbar. What is this toolbar?